Great. Hello, everyone. My name is David Kim. I'm founder and CEO of ACE Learning Company. We are a privately held company based in Silicon Valley. It's myself, David Kim, and a group of technologists, most of whom have PhDs in information retrieval and artificial intelligence. So the vision of ACE, we're about 2 years old. We started off with strategic investments from a number of publishers. And what we're really empowering is the next set of digital experiences and making them very personalized. And we want to make that extremely easy, not only for publishers, but also for institutions. There's two lines of businesses that we have today. One is our consumer site, which is located at www.learningace.com. You can view it as an inquiry-based lead generation for consumer products. And the other component of our business that I'll go a little bit deeper on today is our institutional and publisher platform. You can view it as a software as a service, SaaS platform, where our clients are major institutions. We currently focus on institutions with 100,000 plus enrollments per year. But in essence, at the heart of it, it's a very intelligent middleware between a CMS and an LMS. It enables indexation of content and enabling very student-centric experiences. From the standpoint of what we hear from the marketplace and our clients who are institutions, there's a big move towards going digital. And I think to a certain extent, going digital means a lot of different things to different institutions. But the heart of it is basically at the heart is affordability. Affordability from the standpoint of tuition costs, loaded up with the content costs the students bear as well. So we're viewing it from a total kind of educational cost perspective. And the three things as they try to go digital in addressing affordability is an improved and personalized student experience. Number two, preserving the high quality of education. And number three, growing the growing demands as they start to morph their businesses from a face-to-face to online to competency-based as well as hybrid. Now, why is that hard? In today's environment, it's very difficult to go digital, in some part because the underlying assets from publishers are at varying levels of being digitized, which goes way beyond just ebooks, but also multimedia assets and video. But one of the components of difficulty is generating a student-friendly experience. As we well know, a lot of students supplement their education by going to Google or Bing with a very search orientation from which they can inquiry on their problem and have wrapped around it entire content experience. But that doesn't exist today in today's LMS or in today's classroom. So one is generating a learning-friendly experience. The second is the need to search for and be recommended content, not only from the standpoint of an institution in finding content that's relevant for their courses, but also to a student from the standpoint of, I have a problem, now help me solve that problem. Third is the ability to identify assets very quickly. It is a lot of institutions come to us today in some part because they spend millions of dollars of licensing content, and only a fraction of those today actually hit the classroom in front of their students. So a number of the institutions we work with today, one piece of content they typically bring into a syllabus line item down to the learning outcomes level is one that they actually have now 10 specific assets of content that they've already licensed. So it's not necessarily the problem of getting incremental content, it's making the best use of the content that you've licensed and bring it into a form factor that's very easy for faculty members as well as students to benefit from. Last is platform flexibility, and I'll kind of mention a bit more in the next set of slides, but basically we play a middleware kind of SaaS-based approach connecting the LMS and the CMS. Now, how we fill the publisher and institutional gap starts with the course design. So we preserve course design and partner with a number of firms to help with instructional design, but starts with a faculty member's syllabus, line items, as well as learning outcomes. Then it becomes a problem of content matching. So of the content that an institution has licensed, how do you rapidly, in an automated way, map that set of assets to the specific learning outcomes? Next is actually marrying that against a student-centric experience that can be dropped within the LMS. And last but not least is analytics. So being able to know exactly what type of content coverage you have for a specific course, as well as how the students are actually engaging with the content. So in a nutshell, we we basically develop these personalized student learning experiences for institutions by having at one component a software as a service platform, and on top of that, we enable content as a service for institutions. What does that mean? First of all, this is where the heavy technology comes in, is the fact that we actually bring into the fold and ingest the institution's taxonomy. So across thousands of courses, for each course, dozens of syllabus line items. For each syllabus line items, there might be 1, 2, 3, or 10 learning outcomes. So you basically have an institution that has an incredibly complex and very differentiated taxonomy tree. The next component is actually how do you marry that up with the publisher partners that they're working with. And those could be library taxonomies, those could be publisher taxonomies, or other standards as well. Once we do that particular match of those specific taxonomies, you can view it as the Uber map for a school. We then can auto-curate content from different repositories, whether it be institutional content as authored by faculty members. It could be OER content, select repositories that they actually want plugged into their classrooms. Publisher content, so it could be 1, 2, or more publisher premium assets that actually get brought into the fold, as well as assessment questions. And what that enables the auto kind of recommendations or curations to the taxonomy, it then enables very powerful student-centric models that can be plugged into the class. And those could be student-centric, search and discovery. It could be competency-based learning, as well as auto-recommendation tools. Any questions? Yes. We're currently working with a number of institutions and publishers today. We work with, as I mentioned, I don't have it on the one slide, but basically we work with about a dozen institutions today. And those are typically cases where there's hundreds of courses or thousands of courses. Typically a library resource repository, one OER repository, and anywhere between 2 to about 8 publishers. And basically for those institutions, as I mentioned, we basically aggregate all the content, we index it, we match it to their taxonomy. We have a curation platform that enables the faculty members to rapidly curate content to their courses. And we basically have a pluggable widget, whether it be within their LMS like Blackboard or others. So we're currently relatively early. Our company's been in business for 2 years, but we work very closely with institutions solving the specific problem of we have a wealth of content. How do you rapidly get that into the LMS or into their student application so that the students can actually benefit from free-form search?